Welcome to Sitaarre TV, and I am your host, Tanya Gupta. It is my honor today to introduce you to the Prince of Pop, Bollywood actor, singer, musician, painter, who is here with his very talented brother, who is a composer, producer, and singer. They will be performing on August 14th at San Francisco at the Palace of Fine Arts. And they are brought to you by Naeem Wahab, Shahab Siddiqui, and Instant Karma. Please welcome Ali Zafar and Danny Z. Hi, Ali Zafar G. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, this is you've been to the Bay Area before, but you're still traveling. What are some new spots, favorite locations you've been to?
Yeah, I love the Bay Area. I think it's beautiful, and my brother lives here, Zan. So I've been spending time with him and the family. My family was here; they just recently left. During this tour, um, it's been a beautiful experience, and the various spots. I mean, I took my son for fishing the other day, and that was really nice. And I think Mountain House, yeah, that area. So it was very nice, and looking forward to the event on the 14th of August, and to put up a great show and have you all there.
No, we're very excited for that too. So you mentioned your son. Do you think he will also, does he have interest in the music, entertainment industry?
He's an artist. He's a painter. He's a shy kid right now. I think a lot like I used to be when I was his age. I think right now you wouldn't see him wanting to sing and dance, but maybe slowly in time. Yeah.
So your album Jhoom has recently become viral again, very popular. Can you tell us a little more about that since it's also about your own journey?
Yeah, June is a very special song to me because I wrote it with a certain thought in mind and heart, and it's fascinating that how a song that was recorded 11 years ago and released 11 years ago would suddenly go viral again. But that's why I've always tried to write and compose music that is timeless, that has that timeless quality. Because I think what really defines art is the test of time, good art from bad also. So I think I try to fall in a category where I've created something which is worthy of somebody's time.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. And you mentioned that you want to create timeless compositions. And so obviously music has evolved from the golden era to now, which is like lots of fast beat, upbeat songs are the ones that are becoming commercially successful. What's kind of your take on the evolution of music?
I think, like everything else, music has its own evolution. It's the kind of music that we're listening to now has its own charm, and I really personally enjoy a lot of music that's coming nowadays too. I myself, with my brother Danny, we're producing an album which is going to be an international album. So the soundscape is going to be different on that one. So I like to keep experimenting and reinventing myself in my music also.
No, that's very interesting. We're very excited for the new album, the breaking news of today. But I wanted to ask, so if you had a chance, if there was one song you could go back and redo one of your own compositions, what would it be and why?
Um, Let me think now. Uh, I could redo something. I think I might want to do Sunre Sajaniya
Okay,
in a different style.
right.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that's interesting. So, future plans, future movies. Well, who is one Bollywood co star you really want to work with?
Well, there's so many, so many actors that I would love to work with, whether that's Amitabh Bachchan ji or Amir Khan or you know Shah Rukh Khan or
Okay, but what
so many
about actress?
actresses. I mean, they all have their own charm, and so they're all really nice. If I can't really pick and choose. Yeah.
Right. Just anything in store. So, there are lots of upcoming artists everywhere in the world. What is one piece of advice you want to give them?
Well, enjoy the process. Keep focus on the art and the authenticity. Um, because the art stays and everything around it, all the hoo-ha, this and that fades away. So I'd say just be true to it, just be honest, just be sincere.
And last question, if there's something you wanted to tell your fans that they probably don't already know, what would it be?
Then I'm performing on the 14th. So yeah, so 14th is San Francisco. Then 20th is Houston Arena Theater. 15th is LA in Irvine. So and then we're also planning a tour of North America, Canada. So that's gonna come up pretty soon too, and some more cities in the U.S. next year. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for, talking with us today. It meant a lot to us, and it was our honor and pleasure to have you here. Before you leave, could you sing two lines of any song you would love?
Um, वो देखने में कैसी सीधी सादी लगती है, बोलती कि वो तो कुछ नहीं समझती, अंदर से कितनी तेज है.
Oh, I love that song. I'm so happy you sang that one right now.
दिल झूम झूम चले, झूम झूम चले सोने यार. Hi, this is Ali Zafar, and you're watching me on Sitaarre TV.
Now I have with me composer, producer, writer, and singer, and has great looks too, Danny Z. He is going to be here on August 14th at San Francisco with his brother Ali Zafar, and together they are going to be a powerhouse. So buy your tickets. Hi, Danny. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Thank you. Actually spent a lot of your life here in America, in the LA, studying music, I'm assuming.
So I wouldn't say that I've spent a lot of my whole life. No, it's more like 2018 on, but like 2015 every summer, I used to come because my brother's always been here. We have another brother, by the way, so people get shocked and they're like, "What?" So yeah, I come and visit, and yeah, so it's like at first it was mostly just the summers, and then 2018 it was 6 months, and then 6 months again. So yeah, yeah, but not studying music necessarily. I did go to the New York Film Academy in LA to study filmmaking for like I took a 1 year course, but I had to drop out after the first semester because I had to start working. But yeah, I did produce. I did learn all of my production primarily in LA. So those 6 months, I was crashing at who we call our godfather, Tony Uncle Tony Bai. Love you. He let us crash in his house, in his basement for 6 months, and treated us like their own kids. And that's where I learned music, in his basement in his office. So yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, that's actually quite an interesting, path of like where you've been through. So, I mean, you have such a versatile range of compositions from like romantic melodies to like a hip hop style genre, and I'm sure Western music has also influenced you in some way. So, can you talk about your dynamics with these different, genres?
Yeah, of course. I can hold it. It's okay. Yeah, I don't want to tire your hand. It's more like I grew up listening to a lot of Western music. I grew up listening to Pink Floyd, a lot of Jeff Buckley, so classic rock, a lot of grunge, '90s. So initially, that's what I wanted to do. Like that's the music I wanted to make. But in Pakistan, or the South Asian music market in general, even India for that matter, I believe there's at that time there was a certain commercial sound, and there's a really big question, do you, in that region of the world, do you want to be an artist who's making a living as an artist, or do you want to do it for passion? Because if you want to make a living off of it, you need to make certain music for you to be successful enough to earn as much that you have a career, you have that demand. So I had to kind of block my natural instinct and just go against it completely. And I learned to write in Urdu. I learned to write in Punjabi, and I had to like change my train of thought, and like what melody is coming in what way, and then maneuver it and change it, manipulate it to change the language. So everything changes. So I think that's what really helped me diversify my entire, like, the creative aspect of everything, in terms of compositions, lyrics, and how I can just maneuver myself in between these genres. So
And you
yeah,
have a
yeah.
one-man band going on for you now.
Yeah, yeah. I learned that everything was usually always playing in my head. Like I just knew that this is what I want. I just did not have the skills as a producer at first. So I remember when one song took me like 6 months to complete with a producer. I was like, yo, if all it takes, I have everything playing in my head. If all that I need to do is learn how to like, technically do this and produce it, I need to do that because I can't spend 6 months on one track. So yeah, I picked up on production and then different exposure to different genres. And like I was mentioning, the one thing that really got me to the trap and hip hop side was definitely the fact that I had a lot of frustration and a lot of rage that was surrounding the Pakistani music scene and where I was fitting in, and I did not see myself fit in, and I had to really conform a certain way to find success. So when I discovered hip hop, it was like, ooh, what? Yeah, like because I connected like so many on such an emotional level. I felt that it was helping me express a lot of the frustration that I had. So that's why I then like changed my entire course and learned that entire production, that writing, all that stuff, and yeah, took a pretty deep dive in it. So yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. That was such an amazing answer. And, like, it just goes to show that you're just, like, naturally musically talented. And just, like, to execute that, you put in your own hard work and everything. So that's amazing. Would you say Coke Studio kind of gave you that push forward, that break that you needed?
Um, See, break is like in today's entire day and age of music. I don't know if break is a word that I would want to throw around a lot because way back, of course, there was a thing about breaking an artist, right? Or a song that breaks an artist or a project, right? But it was a dream for me to come on Coke Studio. Like I was like, yo, I was 15, 16. By the time I was 15, 16, I was like, I need to come on Coke Studio. But I was too young for it at that time. And then eventually, when I realized that, oh, okay, I've gotten this opportunity, and I'm probably gonna make my debut at Coke Studio, it was a huge deal. But in retrospect, like you, as you grow as an artist, there's an entire journey that you go through. So I feel what I realized was mostly that when I did it, like the day I saw myself on Coke Studio, the day I saw my song, I felt alien to the feeling that I was supposed to feel as an artist. You feel me? I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm not taken away from that at all. But it's more like, still, you can't blame me for what I feel, right? Yeah, I feel that I had so much more to offer, and I felt that that was not. When I saw that song, I remember very clearly. I was like, yeah, that that is Ali Zafar's brother. That's it. He's not his own. He's yet to grow. He's yet to evolve, and so I feel that in one way it did help me break personally as an artist because I realized so many things. I had an entire 6-song EP that was ready to come out a month after Coke Studio, which I had to completely dump and shelf because I had to redesign my entire path of how artistically I have to go through this entire journey because I did not want to go that typical expected way of me being, like having that commercial sound or I'm not against anything commercial, but it's just like, it's what I have to offer was not just commercial, so and the one thing that I decided at that time was I was 15 and I had a dream of coming on Coke Studio. It's much more than that. You need a 15-year-old right now or 16-year-old right now. Their dreams, their ceiling basically can't just be Coke Studio. You need to dream big, much bigger. And that's what I learned. I was like, now my job is to just make music that can empower the up and coming generation to be weird, to be who they want to be. They should not have to conform a certain way to, because that's the death of an artist. You're not able to express your true self. How sad is that? So I don't want that for anyone. So yeah, that's.
Okay, thank you for that. I think it's like great advice to everyone too because it's like you need to be unique. You can't just have a goal of like, okay, I'll be singing cover songs or like get on like this commercial stage. Yeah. You got to be yourself and like I was seeing your YouTube videos yesterday, and like they were just great. Like they were definitely unique. It kind of shows like you as a person. So last question to you would be, who is your biggest inspiration when it comes to music?
Wow, that's such a difficult question, but I think first and foremost is, although I'm so far away from them right now, it's Pink Floyd, um, because what they've and eventually I will go there, but Pink Floyd because they made me feel emotions and they gave me experiences that I can only dream of giving to others. You feel me? The day I heard Pink Floyd was the day I decided that I want to make music because I want people I want to make people feel the same way I felt when I heard Pink Floyd. I want people to cry to my music. I want people to feel any emotion even if they're smiling. And I want to give them an experience. So I think Pink Floyd was first and foremost my biggest inspiration, and then Jeff Buckley, who was another great artist of his time, and apart from these two, I would definitely say that my brother, as well, because I've and that's not from an outsider's perspective. It's more like I've seen him firsthand. You know, people only see the product that comes out at the end. People don't see what's gone behind it. So I've seen how he is every single day. You know, he's working 24/7. He's a little too much actually. You know, and when you see that someone who's at the level where he is at right now and he's still putting in that much amount of work, it's absolutely crazy. You know, it's like wow, it's a never ending journey. You got to keep working. You got to keep every day when you wake up. You got to be better, stronger than you were the day before. You know, and I see that in him, and that's what inspires me a lot. So yeah.
I know I said last question, but I do have to ask. You and your brother are going to be in concert together for the first time. How are you feeling? And since you have like, like a Western touch in you, are you going to be bringing that on stage on the 14th?
So one great thing about the venue, which is the Palace of Fine Arts, is when I went to see the venue, it was so intimate. You know, the entire setup. When I was on stage, these venues really define what your set list is going to be and what experience you want to give to people. So I think I'm definitely gonna. I might step away from Danny Z, who's talking right now, and you can tell that from the accent as well. But I probably might step away from Danny Z and might go to Daniel and have some music that's also true to Dana, and have some trippy jams and some a psychedelic touch as well. If I mean I'm gonna try obviously, but yeah, there's definitely a Western touch. There's definitely an Eastern touch as well. I feel fusions are what it makes everything very beautiful. It makes you realize that we're all in this entire thing together.
I think it's the future of music.
Yeah. It's because it's serving humanity as a whole. You're not thinking about, oh, this is that language or this or that, because music is just like, it has no language, it just bounds you together. So I feel, there's going to be touches and hints and glimpses of everything, I believe. So yeah, Danny Z is also going to come out, so yeah.
That's great. We're going to have three people on stage instead then. But thank you so much for, talking with us here today. It was lovely.
ਛੱਡ ਮਨ ਮਾੜੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਾਸ ਆ ਰਜ ਰਜ ਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਸ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਤੱਕ ਲਾਂ ਵੇ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਜਗ ਸਾਰਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚੜਿਆ ਏ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਏ ਤੇਰੇ ਮਿੱਠੇ ਬੁੱਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਚੱਕ ਚਲੀਏ ਏ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਮੁਖੜੇ ਨੂੰ ਹੱਥ ਫੜੀਏ ਹੁਣ ਨਾ ਜਾ ਹੁਣ ਨਾ ਜਾ Hi everyone, this is Danny Z here, and you are watching me on Sitaarre TV. Thank you.